Good morning. Today's video is kind of a short one and quick one, but a very important one as we learn a new formula called Slope-Intercept Form. Maybe you saw this a little bit last year in 8th grade. So what is it? Well, first off, it's a way of writing a linear equation with shortcuts for graphing the line. So that's its purpose. Its purpose is to help us to graph. And there it is in that big box there. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to say that quite a few times over the next week or so. So get used to it. Y equals mx plus b. I'll just say it a lot. So what do those letters mean? Well, the x and the y. So again, this x and y. Those numbers are always there. Those are our missing numbers. Those are the things we're trying to find. So you will see the y and you will see the x in the problem. But the other numbers, m and b, you will not see m or b. You will see numbers in their spot. So there will be an actual number here, like a 7 or a 3 or a -2. There'll actually be a number here also, like a 2 or a -6 or a 1/2 or a 0. So again, those letters, the M and the B, they stand for slope. And don't ask me why they use M for slope. Seems like they should have used S, but this was written a long time ago before people spoke English, so I'm guessing it comes from the language it was created in. And then the B, that's the y-intercept. Now the reason we call that the y-intercept is because if you think about the ordered pair over here, X, Y, think about them in A, B, C order. That means that the A and the X would go together, and the B and the Y would go together, kind of, if you're thinking about them as A, B, C order. So that's why we use B for y-intercept. We would obviously use A for things that relate to X. But we're not using the X in this particular case. We're just using the y-intercept. All right, so let's look at how that would go. So here's some examples. All right, so the first one, we've got the equation y equals 4x plus 2, which is in slope-intercept form, which again, if you forgot it, it's y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I'm asking for is the slope. Well, the slope is the number that's in the m spot, 4. Next thing I'm asking for is the y-intercept, and that's the number that's in that plus b location. In this case, -2. Well, number 2, same idea. Y equals mx plus b. Slope is the number that's in the m spot, -2. The b is the number that's in, or the y-intercept is the number that's in the b spot, and that's 4. All right, again, y equals mx plus b. So the m is the number that's in the m spot, that's the slope. But what number is that? It's not a 0. There's something, oh yeah, it's a 1. We don't write times by 1 when it comes to algebra. It's just an extra, an unnecessary step, and things are already complicated enough. We don't need to throw extra numbers in that we don't really need. And the reason we don't need it is because when you multiply something by 1, it's not different. 12 times 1 is still 12, so why are you doing times 1? Does anyone ask you how old you are and you say you're 1 times 14? No, it doesn't work that way. That's annoying. So again, we don't write that 1, but it's there. Then the B is my y-intercept. It's a -7. All right, next one. Again, still, y equals mx plus b. The slope is the number in the m location. In this case, it's a fraction, but that's fine. Slope is rise over run anyway, so we might as well keep it that way. And then my b number down there at the back, +5. Last one, again, y equals mx plus b. My m is the number right in front of the x where the m is. That's my slope, -2/3. And my b is that number that comes at, it's gone. There's nothing there. So this case, that would be a +0. We don't write +0 in math sentences. Just like you don't tell people that you're 14 plus 0 years old, because again, that's weird and annoying. So we don't do it in math. We don't write +0, but it's there. So those are the tricky ones, the one where you don't see anything, but there's actually a number there, like in number 3 and 5. All right, one last thing to look at, and that's switching it around and starting with the slope and the intercept and plugging them into the equation. And again, the equation was y equals mx plus b. All right, where the slope, that's my m number, so y equals 6x. Again, that m is replaced with 6. And then the b, that's my y-intercept, that's replaced with -2. Next one. My slope, that's my m number, it's -1, so -1x. And then my b is my y-intercept. It's positive, so I put plus. Don't just put 2. It's a plus 2. Now, there's something about this one that could be fixed and cleaned up a little bit. Now, we don't normally write times by 1 in math. So we don't really need that 1, but we need the negative sign. We don't throw the negative sign away. We just don't have to write times by 1. So that answer would be best if it was negative x plus 2. We still know that there's a 1 there. We just don't write the times by 1. But again, we can't throw away the negative sign. So the negative sign stayed. Now, if you wrote it like this one over here, that is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It just looks better this way. It doesn't have quite so many numbers in it. It looks a little simpler. So that's all. It's just cosmetic. It means it just looks nicer that way. It's not wrong either way. All right, last one. My slope is negative 4, so y equals negative 4x. And then my y-intercept is 0, plus 0. And like I said earlier, we don't write plus 0. That doesn't make any sense. That would be a waste of time. So we can just erase that part, and we're done here. We don't need the plus 0. Now, just like the other one, if you put plus 0, it's not wrong. This is just prettier. Looks nicer. Less stuff involved. All right, your work is pretty simple, I think, today, but this is a hugely important one for us to learn. We'll use this a lot this year. All right, good luck.